a reporter who happened to go over and interview him. And the more we look into this, the more it appears that this was really planned, that it was almost
it was more planned than you think.
Really?
We worked with the Phoenix Police Department. We talked to them. They came down to our studio Friday. They have a squad. They used to call it Confrontation Prevention Squad. Now they call it Community Service.
How you doing, Maria?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for your time. An honor for us to go first because we are #1 here in Boston. You have been the #1. Are you sick of hearing this? #1 rated cable news show for the 100th consecutive month. That's a pretty big deal.
Congressman, could you vote for a bill that doesn't include a public option?
I can't say that right now because we're in the process of negotiating, and I hope you won't be offended if I tell you that I don't negotiate with people who don't have votes, and you don't have one.
Hey there, time for the BCast on Breitbart TV, and time to debut another new piece from Naked Emperor News. And this one has to do with the left turning on Obama.
And protest confusion. Who's touting Hitler and who's not?
It's all coming up on the BCast. Okay, live in our studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us here on Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. We're having a busy day here on Breitbart TV.
And it's storming out.
And it is storming out, so, you know, you never know with this electricity stuff.
You'll know why.
Well, but what we will do is, if there is an electrical interruption, if you look, depending on your, we're in Pittsburgh, so look to whatever sky direction, and we'll start doing smoke signals of the news.
Yeah.
Right.
When technology fails, you just go back,
Exactly.
the old ways.
Now, we've been doing this new process the last couple of weeks. So when Pam Key at Naked Emperor News has a new idea for a new piece to put out there, that we share it with the BCast audience first. You guys get to see it, experience it, comment about it, slam it if you're really so bold.
Yeah, nobody's really slammed it yet.
Well, because you know why? Yeah. Because they know what Pam is capable of.
They don't want Pam to turn her sights on them.
Exactly. So I think we have Pam on the line. Pam, are you there?
I am here.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty darn good. It's not raining here. It's like 100. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, but you have a, tiki bar and a pool, so...
Yeah, we'll be in the pool later.
Yeah.
Right, but along with that, you get raging firestorms, mudslides, earthquakes, and I think locust as well, right?
Yes, my pool was ruined because we had a giant fire here last year. It was filled with ash for months.
Nice, nice. So let's talk about the new piece, and it's like you're busy going through lots of old video and audio, but this week it seems what's fascinated you is a controversy that got a little bit of attention on the right, but seems to be getting a lot of attention on the left.
They are very upset because they have been flat out lied to, and you got to give them credit for actually caring because the mainstream media doesn't seem to.
Right. Yeah. And this is the secret talks with the pharmaceutical companies, right? The medical companies, the ones that Obama said that he didn't want to have any part of doing that kind of conversation behind closed doors.
Right, and it's the whole C-SPAN lie again, where he said he would, and he was very specific, said he would have the drug companies there in front of C-SPAN, and if people saw that the congressman carrying water for the drug companies, he would stop them on C-SPAN. All a huge lie. And also in a lot of interviews, he went ahead and said, I won't deal with these. He kept putting down the Medicare D plan, that there was a secret deal and, that's not the way Washington should run, and I'm coming here to change this. And it's exactly what he did. Okay.
So now, as always, your pieces are relatively self-contained and designed to be so, but is there anything else you want us to know before we click the play button?
That these two people, Greg Palast and the radio host, are incredibly liberal. I mean, you cannot get more progressive than these two people.
Okay. All right. Well, Liz and I watched this earlier today. I think you guys are going to like it. Here's Pam's... what's the title of the new... There is a good title.
There is. It's Progressive Talk Radio. Air America exposes fascist liar Obama's secret drug deal.
And that's fascist and liar in quotes.
And welcome back to Cloud on Air America Radio. I'm Christiane, sitting in for Richard Green tonight with journalist extraordinaire Greg Palast. Go to his website. We're going to talk about Barack Obama and this big deal with Big Pharma.
It required an investigative reporter from the LA Times to discover that there were secret meetings, secret negotiations by Barack Obama's people with the big drug companies, and they had a deal that there'd be an $80 billion chop in the charges by the drug companies, and it was a deal in secret. Billy Townsend, the guy that Barack Obama, during the campaign, said, this guy's a creep, we won't deal with him, that was the guy that they shook hands with. And when I say shook hands, that ain't metaphorical. It was a backroom deal.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message. The pharmaceutical industry wrote into the prescription drug plan that Medicare could not negotiate with drug companies. And you know what? The chairman of the committee who pushed the law through went to work for the pharmaceutical industry making $2 million a year. Imagine that. That's an example of the same old game playing in Washington. You know, I don't want to learn how to play the game better. I want to put an end to the game playing.
Let me jump in and talk about the deal, though. Let's explain this deal, because the drug industry is agreeing to give us a future savings of $80 billion as long as Obama promises that we won't negotiate to lower drug prices, which was what we were asking for in healthcare reform, was to lower drug prices. He's cut this deal saying, hey, if you give us a little bit of savings, we'll keep the drug prices high. That doesn't sound right.
Then we'll tell the pharmaceutical companies, thanks, but no thanks for overpriced drugs. Drugs that cost twice as much here as they do in Europe and Canada and Mexico. We'll let Medicare negotiate for lower prices. We'll stop drug companies from blocking generic drugs that are just as effective and far less expensive. We'll allow the safe reimportation of low-cost drugs from countries like Canada.
First of all, it makes me puke that we've just been Cheneyed by a guy named Barack Obama, who said he would never do this. It would be on C-SPAN, and it wasn't on C-SPAN. And rather than fess up and say, I did the wrong thing, I had a secret negotiation, even with the guy he said he would never talk to, Billy Townsend, it was like every line was crossed.
But here's the thing. We're going to do all these negotiations on C-SPAN. So the American people will be able to watch these negotiations. So if they start seeing a member of Congress who is carrying the water for the drug companies instead of for their constituents and says, we can't negotiate for the cheapest available price on drugs because the drug companies need these profits to reinvest in research and development. I'll say, okay, well, let me bring my healthcare expert in here. And on TV, we'll ask my healthcare expert.
He's such a charming liar, though. He's such a nice guy when he lies like that.
In the next 10 years, according to the Obama administration's own figures, we will spend $3.6 trillion, that's with the TRs, $3.6 trillion on prescription drugs. $80 billion off $3.6 trillion is 2.2%. 2%, Mr. Obama. That's why you violated the law, broke your campaign promises, had secret Cheney-like meetings in your bunker with the creepy drug company lobbyists. I'm wondering, I'm going to say something that I should light up your lines.
Okay.
What if the people out there screaming and breaking up the discussion at the town meeting are correct? What if we have a situation in which you have secret meetings being held by the president, the absolute fascist nightmare, because fascism is defined as government combining with corporate powers to impose their profit-making regime on you.